I was not meant to witness this. I was not chosen, not blessed, not cursed. I was simply there, at the far edge of the galaxy, where charts fade into guesswork and even the Imperium pretends nothing exists. Space feels older here, quieter, as if time itself has slowed out of respect. I had always believed the stories about forgotten regions were exaggerated. I was wrong. Something had been sleeping here long before the warp learned to scream. No one spoke its name because no one remembered it. Not because it was weak, but because memory itself had eroded around it. Empires rose and burned without ever brushing against its awareness. Even the Chaos Gods, loud and starving, never reached this place. This was not a tomb. It was a pause. The first sign that something had changed was not light or sound. It was silence. The warp went still. Not calm, but empty. Astropaths across nearby systems began to scream, then fell quiet forever. Their eyes burned white, as if they had looked at something too vast to survive. Ships lost direction. Navigators clawed at their thrones, unable to see the Astronomicon. It felt like the galaxy had inhaled and forgotten how to breathe. I felt it before I understood it. Reality felt thin, stretched like skin pulled too tight. Every thought felt louder in my head, yet less important. I did not know what was happening, only that the rules I had lived under were no longer reliable. The Imperium reacted as it always does, with fear disguised as order. Fleets were mobilized without clear targets. Inquisitors accused one another of heresy. Priests raised their voices, chanting louder prayers as if volume could force the universe to listen. No one understood the threat, but everyone agreed it was wrong. It did not feel like chaos. There was no madness, no temptation, no hunger pressing at the soul. There was only awareness. Then it noticed us, not in the way a predator notices prey, not with intent or desire. It was closer to how a mountain might notice an insect crawling across its surface. A single thought moved through the void, not spoken, not formed in words. It passed through stars, through ships, through minds. When it touched me, I did not feel pain. I felt small. It did not speak. It did not judge. It simply observed, and that was worse than any invasion. Attacks can be resisted. Corruption can be fought. But being noticed by something that does not care strips away every illusion of importance. In that moment, I understood that this was not a god as the galaxy understands gods. It did not want worship. It did not want conquest. It did not want anything. It existed fully and completely, and its awakening alone was enough to bend reality out of shape. The galaxy had spent 10,000 years screaming into the warp, drowning itself in faith, rage, and hope. The noise had finally reached something that was never meant to listen. And now that it was awake, nothing felt certain anymore. The galaxy did not scream all at once. It reacted in fragments, in signals and half-understood warnings, as if no one wanted to accept what was happening. I watched it unfold through broken reports, fading visions, and minds struggling to describe something that refused to fit. Into known patterns, the Imperium was the first to feel it clearly. The Emperor did not speak, not even through symbols or dreams, but the Astronomica weakened. Its light did not vanish, yet it wavered, as if something vast stood between it and the rest of humanity. Navigators began reporting a strange sensation while entering the warp. They felt watched, not hunted, not threatened. Observed, some refused to translate again. Others emerged shaking, unable to explain what they had sensed. The Imperium is built to fight enemies with intent. Rebellions, invasions, heresy. This had none of that. There was no target to strike, no hatred to answer. Their weapons waited for a war that never declared itself, I felt the confusion spread. Fleets were redirected without purpose. Orders contradicted one another. Faith increased, but confidence did not. You can pray against rage. You can endure cruelty. But how do you defend against something that does nothing at all? Then the Chaos Gods reacted, and that reaction was even more disturbing. They did not roar. They did not celebrate. They hesitated. For beings made of emotion, hesitation is rare. I sensed their attention turn outward, not in hunger, but in uncertainty. Chaos feeds on anger, fear, desire, decay. What had awakened produced none of these. It did not challenge them. It did not oppose them. It barely noticed them. That made it dangerous. Something that cannot be tempted, cannot be corrupted. Something that does not feel, cannot be ruled. Across the galaxy, cultists felt it next. Some fell to their knees, waiting for visions that never came. Some stopped chanting mid-prayer words, dying in their throats. Others screamed and clawed at their own eyes because they felt something vast press against their minds and found nothing to cling to. No promises, no rewards, no punishments, only silence. Cthulhu did not answer prayers. It did not care who knelt or who bled. Loyalty meant nothing to it. Other species reacted in their own ways. The Eldar felt a fear older than their myths, something that reminded them of losses they could not remember but still carried. The Necrons recognized a presence closer to their ancient star gods than to chaos, something rooted in reality rather than belief. Even the Tyranids slowed. Their great hive mind, so sure and so hungry, hesitated before something that could not be consumed. That was when I understood the truth. This galaxy survives on meaning, on endless purpose, even if that purpose is war. What had awakened brought none of that. No message, no demand, no destiny. The galaxy was not being invaded, it was being redefined. When it finally touched my mind, there were no words, no images, no commands. There was only understanding. Not given, not taught, but allowed. As if a door had always been there and was now simply left open. I did not feel invaded. I felt exposed. What I understood first was that Cthulhu is not a god as this galaxy defines gods. It does not rule over anything. It does not command armies or demand loyalty. It does not reward belief or punish doubt. It does not corrupt. Corruption requires desire, and desire is something it does not possess. The Chaos Gods hunger. The Emperor guides. Cthulhu does neither. It exists the way gravity exists. The way time exists. It is not alive in the way we understand life, but it is not dead either. Awareness at that scale is not a gift. It is a burden. It sleeps not because it is weak, but because being awake means perceiving everything at once. Stars being born. Civilizations screaming. Entire histories unfolding and collapsing in the same instant. Its awakening was not a decision. It was a reaction. The galaxy had grown too loud to ignore. That was when I understood how small everything truly is. Chaos, the Emperor, the warp itself. All of them are systems. Powerful systems, ancient systems, but still contained. They exist inside rules shaped by belief, emotion, and thought. Cthulhu exists outside those rules. It does not break them. It does not challenge them. It simply ignores them. The warp bends reality through faith and feeling. Cthulhu does not touch the warp at all. Where it is aware, belief loses its weight. Prophecy weakens. Meaning slips. Not violently, not suddenly, but steadily. Lies become difficult to maintain, not because truth is enforced, but because no one is listening anymore. Faith depends on being heard. In its presence, nothing listens back. That is the most terrifying truth. It does not want to destroy the galaxy. It does not plan an ending. But its presence makes the structures holding this universe together unstable. The Emperor draws strength from humanity's belief. Chaos feeds on emotion. The warp flows on meaning. Cthulhu disrupts all of this by doing nothing at all. I felt it happen inside myself. Fear faded first, not replaced by courage, but by irrelevance. My thoughts felt lighter, thinner. Questions that once mattered lost their urgency. Hope did not shatter. It dissolved. Quietly, I was not broken. I was clarified. That is why it is feared. Not because it kills, not because it conquers, but because it removes purpose without effort. War requires meaning. Faith requires belief. Even despair requires expectation. In its presence, those things weaken. I understand now what is coming if it remains awake. The galaxy will not burn. There will be no final battle, no last scream. Empires will still stand for a time. Wars will still be fought out of habit, but eventually the noise will fade, and what remains will be silence.